Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Clever Car Care. There's nothing worse than cruising around with blown out speakers. It just sounds terrible. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to replace your speakers today. But first, let's figure out what tools we need. Alright, first thing you're going to want to do when dealing with anything electrical in your car is disconnect the battery. Okay, before we go any further, we got to get the speakers ready to go in. And that means setting up the adapter plate. We have to install this foam, which dampens vibrations and any noise that you might not want in your car. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll meet up with you guys afterwards. Alright guys, I got the adapter plate all set up. We got the foam on the inside and the out, so we're ready to go. Alright guys, now it's time to tear off the door panel. And you're going to start that by finding the little plates that cover the screws that attach your door. So we take your little flathead screwdriver, pop this little guy off. Then for me, I got one over here too, right with the door jamb. Pull that plate off, and now you got access to your screws. Then you're just going to pull those screws out. And then I'm going to show you how to take the panel off. Alright, I got my screws out, now it's time to take the panel off. Now normally in a little bit newer vehicles, the panel will be tied up against there and you can use a putty knife to get in there and then pop it out, but there's just little fasteners in there. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to take my hand, pop them out, and then the last one. Now next, we got one little connector here. Needs to be disconnected. Just yank on that, and your panel's free. Alright, now that the panel's off, time to unscrew the speaker. Alright, it's loose. Looks like we just have a couple attachments here. Pull all these spades, and we're done. So the first thing we're going to do, come on in. So we're going to strip these wires. They're pretty thin gauge, so it shouldn't be too tough, and they're already kind of stripped, so we just need to clear off a little bit of fresh terminal there. Now we got to go find out which terminal is positive and which one's negative. Use your wiring diagram for your specific vehicle to figure this out. We just looked at our wiring diagram, and now we're going to install our connecting spades onto the wires. And as we noticed, this dark blue wire with the white stripe is our positive, so I got the bigger of the two spades, and I folded over some of the wire to make more contact surface area. You're just going to shove it right up in there. Take your crimper, find the relatively correct size, get one good squeeze. Spades are connected, ready to install the adapter plate. So put the screws in just a little way, get them started before tightening them. And the quick way to do this is just grab your screw gun. 1, and 3. Now we're ready to put that speaker in. But first, we got to drill some holes. Alright, now what we got to do is drill some new holes into the sheet metal to install the new speaker. And what you're going to want to do is just take your speaker, set it in there and hold it so it's lined up with the correct points. This is going to be our guide for drilling the holes. Show you how to drill one of these, then I'm going to go ahead and do the rest on my own. So just take your gun, make sure you're on drilling. Be sure not to hurt the foam on the speaker. And it will go ridiculously easy apparently. Alright, I got all my holes drilled, time to attach the speaker and screw it in. So take your big spades, put it on the big terminal. Nice and tight like that. Little spade, little terminal. Right like that. Then we're going to put them in. Take your screws and put them in your newly drilled holes. And that's how you install one. Repeat the same exact process on the other side. Alright guys, hopefully by now you've finished the other side, reinstalled the paneling, and reattached the battery. And all that's left to do is really test it. But before we do that, I'd like to thank you for tuning in this week. Tune in next week for our section on ball joints. This is Joe with Clever Car Care. Have a great week.